So, hello and welcome to our little journey into the underworld. We are visiting some underground facilities which are found in Austria and where we have a theory about what they might have been used for. Chambers like this are very rare when they show the form of a resonance chamber like this one here. It's a special form of underground facilities where we have a lot of them in Austria. You will see plans and drawings later. Tunnels, chambers, holes connecting these things. We have many of them, but we don't have many of this type of resonance chambers. The speciality here is the design on the inside, the geometrical shape. And since many years we are asking what these things were once used for. We will show you two examples of resonance chambers in Austria today, where we do our research. One is in Upper Austria and the other one, this one here, is in Lower Austria in a village called Linderbrunn. What's interesting for us is the similarity between the inside design of these chambers. Our main focus is placed on acoustic properties inside these chambers. We think that sounds and frequencies were used to produce different effects, different reactions. The effect could be like they were used for meditations, guided meditations, astral journeys, and especially the generation of power or energy in different ways. Important herefore is the high amount of quartz crystal inside of the walls. This here is conglomerate. In Upper Austria we have lots of granite, which contains more than 50% quartz. And this quartz reacts to certain frequencies and you can generate special results, special effects. Here we have 12 chapters inside the chamber, 12 parts. And the other one, the first one you've seen, there are 5. Roman will show you now the effects of the sound. It's just about the sound, don't mind the text.
Ja, insgesamt sind es 12 Nischen. Da im Eingangsbereich sieht man eben diese Schremmspuren. Eingangsbereich, wie vorher schon erwähnt, ist ungefähr 1,50 m hoch. Und den Klo sind es wirklich rausgeht, das sieht man von da nicht. Und es ist von der Akustik, man hört schon einen großen Hall, das ist vorher gesummt. Und bei einem tiefen Ton ist es wirklich sehr, sehr energievoll dann. Ja, so schaut es aus da in Wienerbrunn im Symposion. Ich mache trotzdem noch mal einen Rundumblick, jetzt ist die Sonne schon ein bisschen weiter hinten.
You could clearly hear the difference here between the quality of the sound inside and outside of this chamber. My opinion is that these chambers are connected via underground tunnels, which we did not discover yet, connected with other underground facilities that we will show you later. This chamber here is quite small. It's around 1 meter 20 in height and 1 meter 50 wide. The two smaller chambers below are even smaller than the main chamber, and if you're moving inside of these chambers, it's enough to talk silently, because it seems the sound, the tone is getting amplified. Low frequencies the same as the higher ones. They might even be octavated higher by the shape of the walls. The connecting tunnels from the main chamber to the lower chambers are around 40 centimeters wide. The height difference between the chambers is 1 meter 40. There are no details like on the top chamber walls, but we find special holes in the walls of the main chamber and also in the walls downwards.
Purpose, like it was like a storage for food or whatever, but no.
And somehow it's too small to use it as a shelter,
Yeah.
or as a hiding place.
Yeah.
Going down to another cave. One small room on this side, and there's 5 sections. And when you turn to the other side, there's another hole in the ground, and it's also going down to underneath. There's another small chamber.
Especially when you listen with a good sound system, you can hear that the bass frequencies partially are extremely amplified, depending on in which direction you talk. And these are the holes leading into the walls, which are still quite puzzling us, because we're also wondering how they were made. You can see here that they almost spiral into the walls. In my opinion, these holes are connecting the main chamber with the smaller chambers below, but we have no idea how it is possible to build these holes. can see lots of quartz crystal in the wall. This is a drawing of this specific chamber, and you can see in this drawing that a part is missing. This part was destroyed when they were building the house which today is standing above this underground chamber. I think it had two chambers, like you can see in other plan drawings from different subterranean chambers. In my home area we have around 150 documented underground systems like this, but not all of them contain a resonance chamber. What you can see here, the impression I get is these underground facilities somehow look quite technical, like a technical machine. Some of them you can't even use as a grown-up person for anything else, because you can't crawl through these narrow tunnels. These drawings are taken out of a book from 1903, which was published by an Austrian priest who was researching up to 300 of these underground chambers and tunnels, and he documented them, he measured, and he published this in a book. Again, they look quite technical, like a machine, like some kind of technical use is implied here. The symmetry and the shape of these things really reminds me on technical buildings. And to show you a little bit better what I mean, I took a modern motherboard from a modern computer just to point out the fact that it could be that these things were used for something like this. But for what? So we're gonna take a little step over to Bosnia, to the Valley of Pyramids in Visoko, where they also found subterranean tunnel systems which are connected with the big pyramid, the Sun Pyramid. On top of the pyramid they measured radiation from ultrasonic in a frequency from around 28 kilohertz. Churches, cathedrals, castles, little chapels were also placed on highly energetical points all over the world. And I think that some of these points might have similar qualities as the pyramid in Visoko. Are these all power plants, not just power places? Are there subterranean tunnel connections between castles, churches and abbeys? Were these buildings placed on old ancient sites where even in the past they harvested or created energy? We don't know. But modern measurements of magnetic fields show the possibility. We will keep researching, and maybe we will find proof one day for the theories around the resonance chamber and the underground facilities here in Austria. I say thanks for joining us, and maybe see you next time.